Barcelona wants Sesko and Partey, and are Arsenal in danger of losing Lewis Skelly? Welcome back to my transfer show. I hope you are all blessed and well. We're going to get straight into this transfer news, but before we do that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with all transfers surrounding Arsenal throughout this summer transfer window. Before this video starts, just a quick word from my cousin. But wait a second, people. Hold on a second. This not right? 99% now subscribe. Yo, this video now move to you subscribe. Me I go weird. You subscribe? We can't forward now. Benjamin Sesko. Barcelona have entered the race to sign Benjamin Sesko, and it says here, and I quote from KBC Channel 1 News. Barcelona have joined Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United in the race for Benjamin Sesko. And the same article says it here that Barcelona have joined the race. Now, this morning, Robert Lewandowski did an interview with Mundo Deportivo. He didn't do it this morning, but it was released this morning. And he was asked on his future about with Barcelona. And it says here, is this your last season with Barcelona? I think I have enough time to decide what I want to do after the next season. And you know what? I think there may be some base to this rumor. The reason why I feel like there may be some base is, well, let's just look at Lewandowski, 36 years old. He scored 27 goals this season, 2 assists, but he's 36. That's the big thing. He's 36. Now, he scored 100 goals in 147 appearances for Barcelona, so he's been very prolific, but he is getting on. Will Barcelona stick with Lewandowski for another season? Potentially, but they're gonna need someone else to come in, potentially like a Sesko, who is young. Do Arsenal need to be worried about this, or have they already laid the groundwork, as the talk has been said already? But Barcelona are interested in signing Benjamin Sesko as a potential replacement or later successor for Robert Lewandowski. Staying with Barcelona, we're going to talk about Thomas Partey now, and this news broke from Rahman Osman, who writes for the Sun Football and has 51k following on social media. And it says here, and I quote, that Barcelona have opened talks with Thomas Partey's camp over a free transfer this summer. We know that Partey's contract is up at the end of June. The Ghanaian's future at the Emirates is still up in the air. Exclusive from Rahman Osman. Now, I believe that there will probably be base to this story because, as we know, Partey's contract is up in the summer. Arsenal want to keep him. Do they want to give him the amount of years that Partey wants? Does Partey want a pay rise? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But Barcelona could sign Partey. That's just the fact. That is just a simple fact. And the fact that these things haven't been done already, they haven't been secured already. Arsenal could potentially be looking at another midfielder at the moment to come in if Partey goes, because they haven't signed him yet and they are probably not sure if they are going to. So Barcelona have open talks with Thomas Partey. Gunners, how do you feel about this transfer news? Now we're going to speak on Victor Gyökeres, because news broke this morning that apparently Atletico Madrid have entered the race to sign Victor Gyökeres. And it says here, and I quote, now I'm not going to lie to you, not Spanish. I'm not Spanish. So I had to get it translated. And it says here, and I quote, Atletico takes the lead for Gyökeres. This is the cover of Record Portugal. Now, we don't know how much base there is to this rumor, but Gyökeres is a hot prospect this summer, and he will leave Sporting Lisbon this summer. I genuinely believe he will leave Sporting Lisbon this summer. It just depends on where he's going to go. Now, we already know that Arsenal are trying to sign Sesko. We've known that Berta are holding talks with Sesko and Gyökeres simultaneously, so that we don't lose one. Now, is this news story that broke this morning an indication that Arsenal are due or are about to sign Sesko maybe, and maybe the Gyökeres is done now? It's in the bin now, basically. We will only have to wait and see. But as of this morning, Atletico Madrid have entered the race to sign Victor Gyökeres. Now let's talk about the right wing and Brian Mbeumo. And this news broke yesterday from Fabrizio Romano. AFTV did credit Fabrizio Romano. And it says there, Arsenal are among the clubs interested in Brian's winger, Brian Mbeumo. Bournemouth, Newcastle have identified Bryan Mbeumo as a top target to strengthen their attack with Mohamed Kudus as an alternative. Both players would boost their Champions League ambitions. And Mbeumo is also linked to Arsenal and Manchester United. So this is just recycled news, because if you've been locked into my channel already, you would have known that I've already been talking about this time ago. And it said that Arsenal are in talks to sign Mbeumo, but there are upper Premier League clubs interested. So it's the same thing, but at least I guess that there is interest, and it's definitely confirmed now if it wasn't confirmed already. But Arsenal are in talks to sign Bryan Mbeumo, and he scored 20 goals this season. He scored his 20th goal on the last day of the season, I think. A few assists as well. On the right hand side, Premier League proven. I wouldn't mind him at the club. Gunners, how do you feel about this? You let me know. But Arsenal are in talks, as I've said already, to sign Bryan Mbeumo. Now let's talk about Joan Garcia, the keeper at Espanyol, the hot prospect that Barcelona and Arsenal want to sign. And the reason I'm going to talk about this, because this came out a few days ago from Fabrizio Romano, that the agreement between Barcelona and Joan Garcia on long-term deal is now very advanced and almost done. Negotiations, underway with Spanish goalkeeper with the club, confident to get his green light in the upcoming days. Barcelona want to get it done ASAP and anticipate Premier League clubs. I cannot speak. Now, this article broke in the early hours of this morning. Joan Garcia has not yet made his decision. Important news expected this week. Barcelona has made significant progress with agents in recent days, and the possibility of the Premier League remains alive. Is that recycled news? Or is there genuinely hope that Arsenal could sign Joan Garcia as a backup to David Raya? There's a lot of talk that this keeper could be generational and it could be one of the talents that no team, if they can get his hands on him, they don't want to miss out on him. We already know that Arsenal tried to sign him in the last summer transfer window. Can they get this one through the door? We will have to wait and see, but it seems like something will happen, and we will know something this week whether Arsenal are signing Joan Garcia from Espanyol. Gunners, how do you feel about this? Now, I wanted to save this one up until last because it's the most important. It's the one I am just a tiny bit worried about. But let's see. Myles Lewis Skelly. A few days ago, it was reported that Arsenal are confident that they will have tied Myles Lewis Skelly down to a new contract before pre-season amid interest from Real Madrid. The generational talent is set for a significant pay rise. And now, only recently, this was said about a day ago. Real Madrid have been alerted to the potential availability of Myles Lewis Skelly. The 18-year-old has just 1 year left on his Arsenal contract, and negotiations over an extension are not going well. The source is The Guardian. Gunners, do we need to be worried about this? Because at left back right now, Lewis Skelly has that down. He's burst onto the scene. He's an England international now. Who's wrong with his left back? Slipped my mind and my head's hurting right now, so I can't remember. But is he going to dislodge Real Madrid's left back? Right now, I don't think so. I don't know. But it's his breakout season. And I just don't, it doesn't make sense for Lewis Skelly to leave Arsenal. You know, I'm not even going to entertain this. I don't think this is going to happen because I do think Arsenal will tie down Lewis Skelly, because I think heads will roll if Arsenal lose Lewis Skelly. So that is the rumor, though, that apparently negotiations aren't going well. So let's see what happens to this one. Gunners, are you worried about this one? Let me know. So that's it today for the transfer show. We've spoken about Partey and Sesko to Barcelona. Barcelona have entered the race. Gunners, do we need to be worried about this? We've also spoken about Mbeumo. We've already spoken about that weeks ago. How would you feel about Mbeumo coming into the Arsenal? We've spoken about Gyökeres to Atletico Madrid, and is Lewis Skelly's contract in danger? We've also spoken about Joan Garcia. Those are the updates I have today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and any breaking news, I'll keep you up to date. But until then, love and guidance, people. Peace.